Hello and welcome to my channel. This being my first try at doing a real YouTube video, we're going to start off with this FanHome Infinity Gauntlet 1/1 scale model. This is kit number 1. What you get in the kit number 1, you start with this price thing. It tells you what the next 3 kits are going to be costing. Of course, the first one's only a couple bucks, and then it gets increasingly bigger as the kits come. The first book that we'll open up here is kind of like the overview of what the Infinity Gauntlet will look like, the size. As you can see, it's going to be 29 inches, a couple different features. This actually opens up into almost like a poster. You'll see the different gifts that they'll send to you, the extra gift. I did set up the I opened up the wrong side of the thing, but when this opens up, there's up to a poster of what the full size gauntlet's going to be, roughly the same size. And then on the back here, I did set up to be able to do this premium offer, so I will be getting that stand in this series. Alright, we'll put that aside here. We'll go with book number 1, kit 1. Walk you through some of the pages here. They give you a nice backstory. Each book is pretty good, actually. It's not made of any kind of cheap paper. A little bit about the movies. They start you off with, since this is what the Gauntlet's based off of. And then we get the setup here of what all is included in the first kit and exactly where it is on the model itself. So we'll start this here. It's almost like putting Legos together. So as you can see, I try to use the box knife on this. You really don't need to, but since we're at it, we can like and subscribe to see where the rest of these videos go. I'm hopefully going to get better at doing these as we go along. As you can tell, I figure out that the cardboard can just be pulled away. No knife is needed to open these. Packaging comes pretty solid. You get the screws and little bits of plastic that help, you'll see later, cover the magnets and the battery holder. The big piece here is the side of his gauntlet. It is of metal. It's not cheap feeling at all. It's not plastic. It's a pretty good casting. It already has the finish on it. Comes with a magnetized screwdriver, so that's pretty good in case you don't have one. The LED chip, the back of the gem holder, I guess we can call that. The front of the thing, which is actually made out of metal as well, where the back of it's actually plastic. You got your Infinity Stone. So we'll open up the bag of screws here. I keep the bag, and then at the end you'll see that I do put all the extra screws back in just in case we need them for any future projects that this may call for. So we'll start off here with the back of the gem holder. I'm a little off camera. I'll get better with that in time. So now you just kind of match up the picture to what you see in the plate. And then the battery holder should slip right into that little slot right there. So you can add your batteries in. It's really not too tough. You grab a couple screws here. Now with this being plastic, you do not want to over tighten. So I kind of just throw it in there, do a couple turns in there to set it. And I'll get another one here. And I'll do the same for the opposite corner. This only requires 2 screws, and then I'll go ahead and tighten them down. Everything's nice and tight against the backing, and then we'll tighten these down, make sure they're tight but not over tight, or you'll strip the plastic. Looks good. So now this is where we'll put that there's 2 springs that we'll go ahead and put them on there. And I always test fit everything first before screwing everything down or clicking anything in place, just to make sure it all works nicely. They kind of fit right over top of those little nibs right there. Now the gem itself is technically just a little piece of plastic. Then right here I'm test fitting to make sure it actually hits the clicker and is fitted on there. There is a special way it fits within the metal piece. There is a little tab there that it will fit in. It only goes in one way. As you can see, then you flip it around, it fits perfectly. Then it fits nice and tight. You can see the little notch right there of what I'm talking about. Then you put everything together. There's no clicking or anything like that. It's not like a pressure fit. It does take 2 more screws you put in from the back side. Once again, I just tighten them in there, just a couple turns, and then I'll put the other one on. Then I'll go back here and tighten them. And I'll finish tightening these up here. And we'll get ready to go on to the next step. But it clicks on and off pretty solidly. Obviously the batteries aren't in it, so no light's gonna come from it. There's no sounds at all that I noticed so far, so I'm not sure if that's gonna be like a future update or anything like that in these things. It's just a LED light that clicks on and off. We're just going to skip over this part here because it took longer than I like to admit to open those batteries. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this here. We're going to put the batteries in this and light it up for you guys. I found it easier to put the first 2 in and then use the screwdriver to push it down to add the 3rd battery. You then just screw on the little plastic cover piece. Like I said, it's plastic, so be careful not to over tighten and strip it. Now we're going to add the little plastic magnet covers. And once again, you tighten these down until they are flush. You'll see me smoothing my thumb over it to make sure that it's all flush. Putting on the second cover, doing the same thing. Now we bring in the big glove here, and we're going to do the same thing for the internal magnets. They're going to be two little cap pieces that cover the magnet as them as well. 2 screws go in each one, and I make sure these are flush just like I did on the back of the gem holder. So we'll tighten these down nice and smooth. Then we'll grab the gem. And on the back of the gem, there'll be a little notch that will match the notch on the inside of the glove part. See right there. And then it'll make a nice little click sound as the magnets touch together. and then we'll turn it on, and voila, we have ourselves one gem completed. We'll finish the rest of the book up here, showing where the placement of that current piece we're working on is compared to the whole glove, and that's what it looks like. We'll continue with the book here. It's more of the comic book versions. The first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. Some Mad Titan background. Some players in the Infinity Gauntlet comic book, and that's the end of book 1, kit 1. So we'll put that aside and we'll get this extra little baggie, put the rest of these screws in. Always keep screws because you never know when you're going to need them. And I have this fisherman's tote here to keep everything separated. And then we're going to puff over to this kit number 2. This is the book, walking through some of the old history of the cartoons, the old looking Drax, how thin Thanos used to look, a couple of players from the old school days. And then we're on to the kit number 2 here. This one goes a little bit faster. There's not that many pieces. There's the processing chip for the big LED light, the soul stone, a couple more screws, and a little bit more plastic pieces to go over the magnets. We'll set everything out here, set them up, and make sure everything matches what the book says I have. So we're gonna open up these bag of screws here with my new DeWalt razor blade. Do you need one? No, but I have it, I'm gonna use it, and it's fun. So as you see, we have 2 more springs, 4 more magnet protectors, and the big metal piece, which is pretty big, the same as the other one, already detail finished. We'll put that up there for now. We'll pull out this piece here that holds the soul stone and the bigger LED light. Just going over the list one time, make sure all the pieces are there. Gonna go ahead and move this book over as well so that you can see, match along with what I'm trying to do here. Now we're gonna take this circuit board, we're gonna fit it in there. There are 2 longer pegs that fit the little holes there. You'll put them out there and there, and that should push on, and then you'll have 2 screw holes on either side of one another. I always test fit first to make sure it's where it's supposed to go, and everything fits where it's supposed to be, and that the battery compartment actually fits in there before any kind of screw gets screwed down. I do eventually notice that in the book you'll see that the diagram has the flat part up top along with the pressure point, the clicker at the top as well. So I'll flip this around here, and then it fit in there. The pegs will then fit everything right like the first time I had it. It doesn't snap into place, but it does just fit in there pretty good, and you'll feel that the back goes in as well. And we'll add a couple screws. Once again, I'm just putting them in there. I'm not tightening them all the way down. I'm just making sure everything gets pressure fitted in there pretty good. Make sure everything goes in there. I'm not forcing the screws down too hard so they don't snap the plastic. So here you'll see that I'm trying to figure out where my batteries are for this, and here they weren't included in my kit for this one. So we'll have to get a pack of them and put them in eventually. So I'll put the cap on for now, and we'll move on. So we'll put the magnet caps on these, screw them down, make sure they're nice and flush, so that way they don't scratch the metal casing. So once again, I'm putting them in, but I'm not tightening them all the way. I'll then go back and tighten everything down all the way down this time. So we'll screw everything down fully tightened now. We'll click the clicker and now finish off this piece for this kit. The future kits will come and put the top piece on, completing the whole gem. So now we get the right hand side of his palm, and we'll put these two pieces together. We'll put the magnet pieces on, screw them down, make sure everything's nice and flush so it doesn't scratch. Please leave in the comments if you like watching this whole thing, or if you think I should speed it up, or your opinions on the whole process, or any questions that you may have. So now we'll join these two pieces together. You can see that there's a little lip that kind of just fits behind, and the tabs go into the holes there, and then there's a couple screws I could put in. Now I did find out that one of the holes had flashing over it, so I took that razor blade, just kind of touched it up a little bit, opened that hole up, and the screw eventually went in. The best part about having a magnetic screwdriver is when you drop it into the nooks and crannies, you can pick it up easily. Nope, I accidentally turned on the gem, but you can see the final thing here and how big the back of his hand will be compared to mine. I'll go ahead and grab the soul stone and put this in here as well, just to kind of see if I can get a preview of what it'll all look like here. There's no batteries in the soul stone, so it won't light up, but that's essentially the ending there. This part here is saying that the rest of the pieces will come in future kits. And then we'll finish off the book here with a Some Atom Warlock. A little note from Mike Fendrick. And that completes kit number 2. We'll go ahead and finish this video up. I will get more kits every month. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.